Simran, I remember you had a good business relation with one of the owners of a venue that we used to hire. And then when Irene slash Joy started liaising with this person, things changed. Can you talk about what happened?
I had set up a relationship with let's say a colleague, and she took over that relationship. She started to point out, kind of create issues in that relationship. She kind of started to point out flaws, and what happened was the person who, I was dealing with initially, basically said that they didn't want to deal with Joy anymore. But I think the frustrating thing was that reflected on me, because I had initially set up that relationship. So she sabotaged that relationship. And then she wanted, because she was on this mission to kind of take everything over, then she, kind of, started to suggest, no, let's, this isn't working. Let's move, this event to a new venue, which was her, which was a suggestion that came from her. So, she literally destroyed that relationship and all that goodwill that had been built up through her, just sabotaging nature.
In 2013, we started Cosmic Clinic for people to experience the amazing healing sessions with the quantum work scale away photon pulse. And there were many workshops in 2013 and 2014 that we helped organize, which were conducted by Shimashiji, such as the 5D++ Awakening Transformation Workshop, Cosmic Absolute Transcendence. And then in January 2014, I moved back to Europe. And what struck me was that while I was still living in Sydney, there were quite a number of very happy volunteers, and they were actively involved in the events and the workshops. But after I moved, they started leaving one by one. Can you shed some light on this?
With Irene slash Joy, that she would treat the volunteers, I think, in quite a disrespectful way. I felt that she almost treated the volunteers like they worked for her, even though it was, a voluntary experience. She would be pretty critical to the volunteers, towards the volunteers. At times I've witnessed her being quite rude to the volunteers, because she's pretty abrupt and can be quite brash, insensitive. And so, some of, we started getting not so good feedback about Joy, and there always seemed to be some drama that she would create with a volunteer, or some kind of conflict that she'd create with the volunteers. And basically the volunteers would come to me and say, I can't be around this person, Joy, or I can't work with this person, and they would leave. So little by little, people started to leave, and I would say definitely that the atmosphere did change, and we started to shrink in a way, which was very sad.